Well, hey there. Are you wondering what you should be doing in the holiday season so that you don't end the season gaining 6 pounds, 8 pounds, 10 pounds, undoing some hard work? Maybe you lost some weight, started lifting weights, seeing improvements, and then boom, here comes the holidays and thwarts all of your best laid plans. Should you be doing a shred during the holidays? Should you be focused on fat loss during the holidays? That is going to be the topic of today's podcast. Let's dive into the show. So, I generally suggest not concentrating on big fat loss goals during the holidays because it can be challenging if you're going to parties, if a lot of things are out of your control and you're being exposed to foods, it can be a difficult time. Or maybe you just want to enjoy yourself and you don't want to be thinking about a fat loss plan. I get it. I'm not going to be thinking about fat loss during the holidays for sure. I'm going to be concentrating on maintaining and building muscle. That's what I suggest that you concentrate on over the holidays so that you don't come out the other side with that extra 5, 6, 8, 10 pounds that we don't want. And statistics show that generally that's when people gain weight and they don't take it off. They maybe take it off temporarily come January, then they go off the diet, gain that 6, 8, 10 pounds back, plus a couple of more with it, and perhaps they have a slower metabolism coming out the other side. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want it to happen to me. So we're going to talk about maintenance, and then I am going to talk about doing just a mini shred between Thanksgiving and Christmas so that you're fitting back into that holiday dress, that holiday outfit, pants, whatever you're wearing. You want to look good, you want your stomach flat, you don't want to be bloated, you just want to feel better. I'm going to talk about that too. And I'm not talking a long term fat loss plan. I'm talking a quick little, let's kind of dial things in a bit because that can be helpful if things have started to tip the other way. So, what does maintenance look like? And the reason I'm doing this podcast is I actually had a couple of clients, two different ones over the past month, ask me, how do you maintain, Carol? How do you maintain and you could still throw on a bikini? And no, I don't look competition ready, and that's not my goal. I'm not shredded down for the stage, and I'm not, sporting 8-pack abs, but I look good in a bikini. I don't feel bloated. I feel comfortable, and I feel like I can, wear those outfits, and I feel like I can do this pretty much year round. Now, I'm no exception to the rule. I have days I wake up and my stomach's washed out and I'm bloated, and maybe I ate something the night before. Maybe I didn't sleep. And no, I'm not going to sport a bikini that day. But overall, 90% of the time, I'm feeling pretty good about things. And that's what I want for you. And I'm doing this by maintaining. Now, I am going to give a word of caution. Fat loss for me, this is for me, and I've seen this with a lot of clients, can actually be easier than maintenance. Because fat loss is like you got this goal, you're losing body fat, you're putting on muscle. That should be part of that goal. It's not just fat loss. You should be stimulating that muscle synthesis all the time and eating in a way that supports your muscles. So you want all of that together. Those goals are easier to reach because you're seeing these things in the mirror. You're seeing wins. Perhaps it's with your body fat percentage on the scale, your measurements, your pictures. You're feeling stronger. You're seeing it. But maintenance is you're just kind of hanging out. And it's not really a diet break. It can be, but it's not really a diet break. You're maintaining what you've basically accomplished. And I found that the hardest thing to do. When I first began competing in bikini bodybuilding, I would do great, come off that show, and eat everything in sight. And maintenance went right out, and it wasn't a reverse diet. It was me eating everything in sight. Maintenance went out the window. So here is what I personally do. You don't have to do all of these things. Just take it with a grain of salt, and I'll go through it with you. So I look at portion control, eating till about 80% full. I know that's the oldest thing in the book. We've heard that a bazillion times, but guess what? It works. And it's something you see some of the blue zones doing. The blue zones are where they live to be 100 plus years old, or can live to be 100 plus years old. And different researchers have looked at their diet, their lifestyle, and they eat to about 80% full. You're watching those portions. So let's say you are at that party and it's not perfect and it's not your normal foods. Start to think about just managing the portions, and then don't be mindless with it. Really you've got to be conscious and present. So if you're taking a little of this and a little of that and you're dipping into this and you're dipping into that, guess what? You have no idea how much you've eaten. So it's better just to take your plate, get your servings of your various things, sit down, eat the meal, and then that's it. And that's what I did on the cruise. So I just had the things I wanted. If it was sushi, I went through and had a little bit of things, whatever, if it was dessert. My husband and I would split it, and generally the desserts were small on the ship, so a split dessert was not a huge amount. It was just really just a few bites. I mean, many times I was taking 3 bites and that was it, or 4 bites. Not the end of the world. So you're looking at that portion control. You're not looking at perfection. At the same time, you are continuing to prioritize your protein consumption, and this should be quality protein. You should be getting 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. Now, there is every opinion out there on protein. I have read them, I have researched them, I have listened to the experts that I really value their opinion, and that is the number that I feel works best. It's worked best for me. I've been doing it for many, many years now, and it's really helped me to maintain my lean skeletal quality muscle. At the same time, you are also still concentrating on your strength training. Now, this may not look the same as your normal workouts. If you're shopping, you're on the go, you're going to parties, you've got all this stress on you, you may be doing abbreviated versions of your workouts. And trust me, you can get it in 30 minutes if you're very mindful of that time. If you're at the gym, and I know it's hard because you see people you know and you want to chat, and trust me, I'm always wanting to say hello and chat with people, but a lot of times I go to the gym and maybe I just have an hour that day because of my schedule, and if I chat, I'm not going to get my workout in, and I feel rude sometimes, but I have to focus and do what's best for me. And so really focusing on your workout. This might be a great time to do a circuit. So maybe you're doing an upper body circuit or you're doing a lower body circuit and you're combining 5 exercises and you're going around 3 times. Boom, you're done. Machines can be difficult for this unless you get a machine such as a leg press and then set up your other exercises around it. So maybe you have your dumbbells or your barbell, your bench, whatever is around you, and you're combining it with that machine. But if you're just doing straight sets on machines, it can be very, very, very time consuming. And so you might want to change up the type of workout. You might want to work out at home and use your bands and your dumbbells and your barbell, whatever you have at home. I know some of you have equipment. Just doing your little workout, making it a circuit so it's time efficient, getting that 30 minutes, say 3 times a week. And maybe that's not what you're used to. You're used to doing 5, you're used to doing 45 minutes, whatever, but just shortening that down. Then being conscious that you are moving throughout the day. Maybe you're not having time to do as much cardio as, and I'm not advocating big amounts of cardio, but maybe you don't have time for that little HIIT workout, that high intensity interval training workout, or you don't have time to get on the elliptical and do 30 minutes. But you do want to be conscious of the movement, parking further away. And I know that is an old piece of advice, but it still works. Taking the stairs. When I was on the cruise ship, my husband and I both, we took the stairs every opportunity we had. We rarely took the elevator unless we were carrying something. We would take the stairs up and down. We got as many steps as we could. We made use of the treadmill that was downstairs. Very convenient. You just walk downstairs and get your steps in on the treadmill. So we made use of what we had around us. So just hitting that step goal. Now, I often give women a step goal. I'll give them 8,000, 10,000, 12, depending on their fitness level. There is nothing magical about 10,000 steps. It really isn't. What is magical is when, let's say, you only take 1,000 steps and you take it to 5,000, or you only do a 5,000 and you take it to 8 or 10. Then you can get those benefits from increasing those steps and just the benefits of having a lot of daily movement. If you're working at home or working at a computer, just setting a timer and ever so often getting up and finding reasons to move around your house and really move. If you have a treadmill, hopping on it for a few minutes or taking a walk outside if it's pretty. So we have our protein, our strength training, our movement, portion control, awareness of not dabbling and snacking. And I would say if you can eliminate that snacking during the day and just keep your 3 meals, all the better. That was something else I did on the cruise ship. And mainly because we were out in the middle of nowhere half the time. And the only snacks available were things like chips and things that I simply was not going to eat. And so I'd be like, you know what, I can wait until we get back to the ship to have dinner. And sometimes we were out for hours. And so by the time we got back, we showered, it was dinner time. And so we were eating, pretty much the 3 meals per day, with the lunch being on the lighter side and the breakfast and dinner being more substantial for us, spacing out our meals. All of this can help. Little bit of intermittent fasting, just naturally. I'm not talking 24-hour fasts. I'm talking a 12, 14, 16, depending on where you're at with your fasting. Make sure you have enough of a window that you can get in your nutrition, you can get in your protein. That's my main concern. And if you need 10 hours to do it, a 10-hour eating window, do a 10-hour eating window. If you can do it in 8, you can do it in 8. But I typically do a 12 to 14, and I do an occasional 16. I don't intermittent fast every single day, but typically I will do the 12 because I'm sleeping for 8 of that. Sometimes I'm sleeping for 9 hours of that. So no big deal. I can stretch that out. So these are a few suggestions that can help you stay dialed in. And then looking at your mindset, if you come into the holidays with a mindset of, I'm just going to eat and eat and eat, and then come January, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to start a program in January, that's the wrong mindset. For many of us, the right time to do a program is actually right in the holiday season, because that coach is going to help you through that maintenance stage. And then when you come into January, that coach is going to help you dial that in a little bit more for your goals, dial in the food in particular for your goals. They're going to help you set a strength training program that fits in your schedule, and then maybe change it up a bit come January when you have more time or you're going back to going to the gym. You're going to have a coach for that mental support as well when you're struggling and you need to talk to them a bit, or you have a question about portion control or intermittent fasting. So it's actually an excellent time to start coaching. It's interesting that people shy away from it. They go immediately into that diet mindset. And that's not always the best mindset, because what that is it's an all or nothing. It's, I'm going to have all the things or I'm going to have none of the things. And that doesn't work very well. As human beings, feeling deprived does not work very well. More of a middle approach, a lifestyle approach, is what works. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with my clients. I'm not trying to make bikini bodybuilders out of women unless they want to. If they want to, that's totally different. I am trying to find the lifestyle habits that they can sustain the rest of their lives. And it is not about perfection. And many times, another thing to note here is it's normal to have times where we push our goals, we're very motivated, and then times where we pull back a bit. And we might even feel like we take a step backward. That's normal. That's not an abnormal thing. In fact, I think I heard a statistics like 90% of the people follow that pattern. So getting rid of that all or nothing mindset, realizing that having times that are more relaxed and with your nutrition, and I don't mean relax like you're skipping your protein or you're eating a bunch of junk, but I mean maybe just allowing yourself a few things you would not ordinarily allow. So hope this was helpful. I mentioned that doing just a quick, I use shred for lack of a better word. It's actually really not a shred because you're not going to lose a big amount of body fat in a week. But I call it that just because you're bringing down that inflammation, you're dialing it in. Perhaps it's a kickstart that you're going to do again in January to kickstart your weight loss goals or your fat loss goals or your muscle building goals. But it's my holiday shape and shred. We do it the week after Thanksgiving. It's 7 days, so it's short but sweet. You can do anything for 7 days. It's fun. I provide you with recipes, a sample meal plan. I provide you with support within a group setting. It's not a one-on-one program. And then you have the program indefinitely to use as many times as you desire. You could use it again, as I said, right before summer, right at the beginning of the year, anytime you need that kickstart, anytime you're coming back from a vacation feeling bloated, you want to dial it in, this will help you. Sign up is in the show notes, and so be sure to check that out. If you have trouble locating those show notes, I know I've heard that before, just message me at Carol Covino Fitness on Instagram, or you can shoot me an email, carol@carolcovino.com. So I hope that you are looking forward to the holidays. I hope you are excited and feeling actually like, yeah, I got this. I am not putting on that 5 to 10 pounds. I've got this. And let me help you be a part of that journey. And until we meet again, wherever you are in the world, I wish you every beautiful blessing. Bye for now.